Hey, what's going on YouTube? This video is in response to one of my subscribers, Elegantly Brown. She basically wants some advice or some tips on how to breastfeed being big chested. Um, and if anybody else is curious, you know, about how I breastfed, maybe my video will help you as well. Um, but what I did to breastfeed, um, at first I had to both, use both of my hands to hold one boob. Okay, um, this is tiring. If you're gonna try it, go ahead, but I wouldn't recommend you do that because at the same time, it's your newborn. You gotta support your newborn's head. Um, so yeah, you gotta support your newborn's head. So, two hands I would not recommend to hold your boob. One hand is fine enough. But the best way for me to breastfeed is I have my son on a pillow at all times, and I prep myself up real high. Um, Pillows behind my back, so my posture is up really high, and that I'm sitting and I'm not slouching. And I'll just like lift up my boob and like pull it down and stretch it out as close to his face as possible, where my boob is like resting at the bottom of my hand, um, and that I have my nipple through my finger, and then put it to his mouth and he'll do the rest. Um, Sometimes when my boobs get really full of milk, it's really hard to breastfeed because my boobs are a little stiff and a little bit more harder, and he doesn't latch on right away, and sometimes he'll be fighting to latch on and he'll get frustrated. um, as you guys can see, my boobs are really huge. Okay. And Joshua's real small. His head is smaller than my tit, so gotta be careful because you can give your baby milk burn. Also, you gotta be careful that that your breasts aren't hanging on your baby's face. Um, Not only can that suffocate your baby, but also from the heat and the moisture, the sweat will build up underneath between your breast and the baby's face, and it will burn. Okay, it will just leave burn marks on the child's face. That happened with Isaiah. I brought him to the doctor, and his face was just burnt. It looked like a cherry. Like his face was just red and had all these burn marks on it, and his skin was kind of starting to peel because of all the milk burn and the moisture and the heat being on his face. Um, it's really hard to breastfeed when you're big breasted, but if you can handle your boobs, um, it won't be a problem. I know some of my friends that are big breasted as well. Um, they can't handle their boobs, so they end up pumping. Um, and they have to pump and then bottle feed their child. Um, I just think it's quicker to breastfeed. It's more easier to breastfeed. Um, when you're home all day like I am, I have all the free time in the world to practice different techniques. So I guess that's the best advice I can give to you is just um, practice techniques with your baby. You know, um, Prep yourself up with pillows. See if you're comfortable that way. Um, Put your baby on a pillow or two pillows. See if that works. Have your leg elevated a bit. Choose the side breast that you're going to feed your child and elevate that leg so that gives the baby's head a little lift, and it would be easier for your baby to get onto your boob. Now, my breasts are huge and they're not perky. They do hang. They do hang. So I find that my hanging boobs are easy to insert to my baby's mouth, and he is very comfortable with the way I feed him. Um, I make sure that my arm is either resting on a pillow where sorry, I feel like yawning, so my nostrils keep flaring in and out. Okay, yeah, so I make sure my arms are resting on something, because when you're breastfeeding, your arm and your shoulder will start to strain and feel like you're working it out, like it will just start hurting. Um, if you don't have those things in a very comfortable position and resting. Um, Hold on a second. Hello? No, she isn't. Okay, bye. Yeah, he's good. He's sleeping. I will. Okay, bye. Anyways, so, wasn't that rude? Anyways, so back to what I was saying. Um, being big breasted is not easy, you know, with a lot of things. Finding a bra that fits, finding shirts that fit and look proper, um, and breastfeeding could be the hardest thing in the world. But with practice, you get better at it, and your baby will be very comfortable. But make sure it's the way that you like, and don't let anybody tell you that you're doing it the wrong way or whatever. What works for you might not work for everybody, and what works for me might not work for you. But I hope this video has, I guess, helped you guys. I've never been asked any really questions about how I do things, but I'm glad that Elegantly Brown came to me and asked me for advice, and I was able to come and make this video and post it for her instead of typing back to her, because I'm sure a lot of other people are curious about how you can breastfeed being big breasted. Like I said, that's what I do. I just have him on a pillow and elevate my legs, make sure I'm prepped up with a lot of pillows, and make sure that my hand is covering the bottom of my boob so that way it doesn't touch his face or his cheek, and his face is only in contact with my nipple at all times, and he's good. And another thing, make sure that when you're breastfeeding that your breasts aren't close, like covering the baby's nose, because he or she needs to breathe. With me, that happens a couple of times where my boob is that close to his nostrils that he starts to like fuss up or whatever, because he can't get enough air in. So make sure that your boob is not covering the baby's nose, because yes, you will stifle your kid, and we don't want no accidents. Okay, so this video is now 8 minutes 49 seconds long. Okay, so I'll see you guys, and thanks for watching. Bye.